am I doing here? I thought I was in the cave.
The dwarf looks around in confusion, quietly talking to itself. It seems oblivious to you.
Whatever happened here, it was a massacre.
I swear, I should have expected nothing less. They wander across a tragedy, and how do they spend their time? Gawking at the dead like they're nothing more than a sack of cloth and flesh to be looted. Bloody parasite. Wait, can you see me? Elves, teeth. How'd you manage that?
The dwarf's eyes narrow, and he squares his shoulders. His hand seems to instinctively drop to his waist.
These skills of yours, they let you control minds. Force brothers to draw steel against each other. Well, someone out there can. As sure as the sea's wet. We were doing some work round these parts. Smuggling, stealing, removing the odd witness. You know, bread and butter stuff. We were sitting here, eating, drinking, telling tales. When some of the lads, their eyes turned black as pitch. Next thing I know, my best mate's buried his dagger in my gut, and there's void woken everywhere you look. Them that didn't die were carried off to the cave. Might be I was the lucky one, lying there, bleeding out. Kind words. But there ain't none that'll undo what we saw. Most we can hope for now is some peace in the Hall of Echoes.
Better tread softly. Somebody's in that cave.
Shh! Hold your tongue. Keep on walking, bud. You got moss for ears. Scram!
The face of a dwarf appears from the shadows. You notice a couple of fresh scratches on his cheek, partially hidden by a thick beard.
You got a problem with simple instructions, friend. Leave. Now! Don't know about no questions asked, but there'll be no answers given. Now leave! I were looking for mushrooms when I heard the shouts. Ran out as fast as I could, but I took a tumble. The crew was fighting amongst themselves, tearing each other apart. They had these pitch-black eyes and fought like demons. Hell, maybe they were demons. I only managed to drag Valine in here before the bloody Void Woken turned up to finish the job. I've never seen such slaughter. Best we could do was save ourselves and try to report back to Driftwood. Lohar's got to know about this. I figured we'd hold tight for now, just till we're sure the way's clear. Then we'll make a run for Driftwood. No point taking a risk and ending up split open on the grass. Now, I'll beg your pardon and get back to settling things in here. Don't need to paint a target on our little den by gabbing with you all day.
I've spotted something. Careful now. That's a trap. Look out. I see a trap nearby. Careful. I spotted a trap.
The spirit looks out to sea, then to the fire roaring behind him, and whistles.
Ooh-wee! Pretty cunning of them, don't you think? Light the fire and draw 'em in. And an effective one, too. Lohar's dwarves light it, ship's captains follow it, and sploosh, the cargo spilled all over the rocks, ripe for picking. Saw a big un go down just the other day. Dare say those wreckers are drowning in contraband. No wonder Top Brass figured something was up. Those Arks fellows Raymond reports to. He's the one sent me here. I'm one of them, all right. Well, I was. But yeah, dwarf magisters are as rare as a three-eyed imp, but when you're hard up, well, sometimes you've got to make choices. Turns out the folks round Reaper's Cove don't take too kindly to magisters sneaking about, especially not the dwarven kind. One of them was here tending to the fire, got me before I got him. Never got to the fire, now I'm stuck and ships still crash. At least it's a pretty view. Oh, that's mighty kind of you. Can't very well do it myself. Well, you probably guessed that. I'm thankful, friend. Blessings on your kin, and your kin's kin.
Careful now. That's a trap. I don't know what that is. It doesn't look good. There'll be Voidwoken here, all right.
Will be pleased.
This body is fresh. Were they a sorcerer?
The spirit of the dwarven battle mage gazes upon the mutilated body that once housed her. As you approach, she turns confused eyes on you. She gazes deeply into your eyes, uncomprehending. Then she stares, and you feel yourself drawn into the mesmerizing source pools of her eyes. With a jolt, her life flashes before your eyes. You become her in her prime, battling a felled magister in a deserted clearing. Electricity crackles from your fingers as you advance upon the magister. Though your eyes are closed, your ears still bear witness to the horrors inflicted upon the young magister. You are thrust out of the spirit's memories and back into your own sovereign mind. You see the spirit of the dwarven battle mage before you, eyes downcast now.
Come on, let's keep moving. Well, I think I should focus on getting this demon out of my head. And of course, I think you should help me. And if we pick up a few... Oh, hey. Ooh, double the fun. Maybe he can teach us a thing or two while he's digging up that demon. What, this old gaggle of weirdos? My kind of salty old crank. She certainly seems to want to help us. You don't get many of those in life. I've learned to appreciate them where I find them. Oh, she's all right. A lot of bark, but I think she really cares about what we're doing. Better that than a sweetheart who'd sooner watch you walk off a cliff than shout, "Look out!" I don't know about home, but I do sort of miss the gang I travel with now and then. Crawler, Madcap, Papa Joris for sure. Musicians mostly. We all had our own stories, our own troubles, but when we were together and the music was with us, it was like none of that mattered at all. When you have people like that around you, you know, a family, even rain feels like sunshine.
Not much of a landlubber, but sometimes I get no choice in the matter. Besides, there's business to take care of. I always figured every dwarf is pure of heart when they pop out of their mummas, but we ain't born cruel, we're made cruel. That means we can be made uncruel. Not sure Lohar will ever be an upstanding member of his community, but he knows where to draw the lines.
A vast continent full of people, full of destinies. You have an ever so curious definition of happiness. I've picked up the scent I searched for. Such a happening comes coupled with very different emotions indeed. The cat, when it's about to pounce, isn't happy. It simply is. A tale of cloaks and daggers and daredevilry. Are you up for it? Wonderful.
She bows with thespian flair.
Imagine a black room. It's been your room for years. You know it by touch more than sight, for it's always dark. And when I say always dark, I mean always dark. You're either in the room or in the box, for it's in the box that you travel. You're only let out at night, because you only hunt in the night, with the master, and after it's done, you lie down in the box once more, with wet hands and mad red thoughts. Sometimes it's best to let sleeping questions lie. The thing is, the box didn't break me, though I confess it taught me to hate. One night, I killed a scholar. With my needle through his fragile old skull, he fell headfirst upon his writing desk, blood mingling with spilt ink. It's when I saw the ink that timid thoughts of rebellion first bloomed. Back in my dark room, I dipped my needle that killed the scholar in his own ink, and engraved his name in my skin. I'd remember him. I'd honor him with vengeance. His name was the first, but many more followed. Of course.
She bares her left arm and shows you the name. You softly run your finger across it.
Mindarin. He was Turashar, a keeper of stories. I'm sure he was loved by many. People like him, the beloved dead, they kept me going. Then, one day, it happened. A gush of wind, a sliver of light. Light! I hardly knew it for what it was. A simple oversight that comes with habit. A door, left slightly ajar. That was all I needed to feel a rush of blood, a thirst for liberation like never before. I tore at the shackles that kept me chained to the floor, iron thick as a smith's wrists. Of course they wouldn't budge, they never did before. But now that I saw the light, something welled up inside me, a raw and undeniable burst of power. The shackles broke, and next thing I knew, I was free. I stood alone outside the ruins of a fortress, snow-capped peaks all around me. But the sun, oh, the sun. I had risen as if from the grave, and she kissed me back to life. Why, I traveled back to civilization and had myself a long, luxurious bath. I was given my needle by the master. Guess I'm just sentimental like that. Fine, if it means that much to you.
She draws her needle and holds it up between thumb and index finger.
Go on. Ever so gently touch the tip.
Barely have you touched the needle's pinpoint surface when a thick droplet of blood wells up from your fingertip.
Sharp little minx, isn't she? Sibyl, this needle was forged in an altogether different world. It wasn't wrought upon a crude anvil, hammered into shape with rough blows. No, it was cast with demon precision. It is absolutely priceless, and it's yours. The master's own words. And he was right. As an instrument of assassination, it's absolutely priceless. But one day soon, he'll find out just how much he overspent on his gifts for little old me. Just why this needle is a girl's best friend. One might say I'm a bit of a sucker for poetic justice.
More bodies. A lot more bodies.
There's a void walking on the bridge ahead. But where's it going?
Good gods, what happened?
The dwarf rocks on her haunches, gnawing at her own her wet, fit.
Away! Away! Too noisy! It'll come back! It'll take me too!
What are you doing? They're close. I can run. For the love of the seven, run. There's no time. Run, you idiot. Run!
This is the poor soul we saw snatched away from the beach. So this is where the sorcerers were taken. Prepare yourself. Do we know each other?
Where the hell did they go?
Well, we won't find them by gabbing here. Where am I?
The spirit stares at you, through you. When she opens her mouth to speak, her voice seems to drift to you from far away, as if half-dreamed.
We keep the shipments here. That's what's meant for ships. It ends up in our carts, trundling away. Arks! The barrels are rolling all the way to Arks. And when they get there, the air will turn to screams. Dying, choking screams. It wafts on the wind. The black ring choked. Arks will choke. They will all choke.
She comes back to herself for the first time. She fixes you with an impish look.
There's nothing wrong with death, my friend. Nothing wrong at all.
Even if the rules are going right, I still haven't sorted out the diagnostics.
The payload of the Peacemaker is here. I can feel its power. Wonder where the others might be. Glory is mine! Glory is mine! Into the dark with you.